Hi guys, welcome back to Bunny Brick Designs. So, I've been playing with the Sparkling Snowfalls collection. I took a break from cleaning my craft room and organizing, just because it's December 23rd that I'm recording this. And I can't help myself. I've been playing with my beads. And I got a really cool idea for a necklace, and so I thought we could do it together. So I started stringing up these water drops, and I know I had mentioned in a previous video that I had done a kumihimo with these, but I didn't have enough of them in the kit to do the kumihimo bracelet. So I've got some beads on order, and when they get here with it's not going to be these specific ones, but with the beads that I'm getting, I'm going to do a pearl and a crystal kumihimo bracelet. So watch out for that coming up. But I started playing with these drops, and I came up with this really cool pattern. And I know I've got some beads missing on here because I started stringing, and then I was like, you know what, this is pretty, but it needs something. So I decided I'm going to add some chains, and then I'm going to take eye pins and make drops, or head pins and make some drops and dangle them from the chains so that it's kind of got a waterfall effect. But so anyways, I'm going to get started in stringing. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to start from the side, and I'm going to string a bicone, a water drop, and I have chains here, and I've got to make sure that I have the right lengths because there's one that's slightly longer that's got to be in the center. So one of the things that I did was I cut just one chain link, and it's not a ton. It's one chain length longer, and so that one's this one. So I'm going to leave that one on there for the moment. I'm going to do a chain link. So I'm just going to hook on the link, and then I'm going to do a bicone, a white, a bicone, and then the other chain. And these may not be long enough, so this is a test, so I'm testing it to see if that's going to be long enough to do a little drop. And it's going to look weird. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to have this little bit of a chain, and I think that's perfect because I don't want it to be super long. I just want it to be a little bit longer than those. All right, so then now I'm going to add in another water drop. I'm going to add my second chain. I'm going to add a bicone, one of these, like, I don't know, flash blues. I don't know what you'd call those. I'd have to look to see what those are called. Another bicone, and the other side of my chain. Now, as I get going on this, I think I am going to put a bead stopper on this side just so that I can, and here, let me get you a little bit more in focus, just because I don't want to lose it off the other side, because adding those chains can be a pain. All right, so now I'm up to the center, and so I need my big chain. So I'm going to do my longer chain. I'm going to do a bicone, a white, a bicone, and the other side of this longer chain. And then we are going to do another water drop. And so that's looking adorable at the moment. And yes, I know the chains seem to be twisting around, but they will, once we get the heavy weights on them from the beads, they will kind of drop down where they're supposed to be. in between. And again, we're not tightening this up until we get everything on it, because I do want them to drop just so. And I think those are adorable. I think this is going to be cute for a very flowy pendant style. Well, it's not even a pendant. Just the drops. So, okay, so we're up to a bicone, a blue, and a bicone. And then the other side of this chain. And then we're going for a water drop and a bicone, a white, and a bicone. Oops, I forgot my chain. That would be important, because that would give me my 5 chains. Now we do a bicone. And then we're going to go back through this side of the chain, trying to make sure your chain isn't twisted a whole lot. I know that can be a pain. So this is what it's going to look like. It's got the chains on there. And now I know it kind of looks, you know, like the chains aren't going to stay and they're twisting all around. And that's fine. But when we get the drops on, which we're going to do next, let me put my last bicone, or my last water drop and bicone on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some head pins here, some silver head pins. I think those in there are all eye pins. Those are eye pins. So I am looking for some long silver head pins. There we go. So I got some silver head pins, and I want the longer ones because, again, I'm probably going to do multiple beads. So I'm going to start out on the center with one of these darker blues. I think that'll look nice. I'm going to add a bead cap to it. I think that would look nice. And then maybe a lighter big blue. No, that's too big. We'll do a smaller blue because I want it to tier up. Maybe a snowflake. No, not that. A spacer. Again, I'm trying to build this so that we're going to have something that I can shorten up so that we can do different things on the next tier. So there's 2, and then a white, or do we want a crystal? A white, then a crystal. I think that will work for that one, that tier. I think that will look good there. So that is going to be the center. And then the next one is going to be a lighter blue. We will add a what do you call it? A bead cap, a white, and a crystal on this side. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Now I'm debating whether I want to make it longer on this one or if I want to add to this center one so that maybe these are the outsides. And then this one's a little bit, no. We'll just shorten it up to something smaller. So that a bead cap, a white, and a crystal. So that will hook there. And then I think we'll just do on these, and I know I'm going to have long ones. That's fine. I've got a lot of these long head pins. I think I bought a package of 100. So we'll do a white and a crystal. Woo! As I throw things away. I think that'll look cute. Although I don't know if I want... I think what I want to do is on that, I think I want to do a blue and the bicone crystal. Just because I want to keep blues in here on the bottom. Blue and the bicone crystal. I think that will look good. So now I'm just going to make my wire loop. I'm going to make my loops. And I think I'm going to use my loopers for this. Hopefully they'll work quite well for these. They are quite long, so... And when you're trying to make a lot of loops, loopers tend to be quite nice because, as you can see, they go quick. And it makes quick work of them, and they're not completely closed, which is fine, because what I can do then is take them, hook them on the chain, and then close them. And I'm going to, just so I don't lose the beads on this, I am going to put a bead stopper. And now I'm not hooking it in a chain link, I'm hooking it around the chain, just because I want it to be loose enough that it can go around the chain and move. And so I'm just making this loop a little bit bigger and trying to even it out. I may do jump rings. These loops are a little small, I think, so I'm going to just close that and do jump rings, I think. So I'm just trying to close this up. Do the same thing with this one. Neaten it up a little bit, finish closing it up. And then we'll put jump rings. We'll use small jump rings so that they're not super long, we're not super big, and they don't get in the way of the design. Because again, I want this to be, I want the focal to be the drops and then these drops, not the way they're connected. I think this is going to be a really pretty winter-themed pendant, winter-themed necklace. I still haven't figured out what we're going to do on the rest of it yet, as far as design. Meaning, I haven't figured out what I want to do with the rest of the necklace. I do know I want to do beads. And so here, all I'm doing is just straightening out that loop a little bit so that it's more even over the and then just trying to close it up a little bit just so it looks a little bit neater, because again, this is going to be focals. Now, I probably could have put the chains through this, but I don't want to take the chance that one's pretty good. It just needed to be tightened. I just don't want to take the chance that they're going to not dangle the way I want them to, because I want them to be fairly loose. So I am going to find some small jump rings here. See what I got for small. Those are not jump rings. Decisions. I think these will work. So while these aren't super, super small, they're still pretty small, so they're not going to... I don't think these are going to get in the way of the design. And if they do, we'll switch them and grab a different set. So we're going to start out on this side with one of these. And I'm going to close this up. Making sure it's nice and tight. And I know I use my fingers. I really should be using pliers for this, but I find my fingers and nails sometimes just work better. And then we're going to take this one. Okay, and I'm going to take a look at that, and I think that looks adorable. I can't wait to put this on a mannequin and see what this is going to look like, because, well, they flip around. Those are dropping really nicely, and they move along the chains so that as the necklace gets up, oh, I love this. I so love this. I'm in awe. This is definitely going to be one for a contest submission. So if you're not a subscriber of Bargain Bead Box yet, they have a competition on their Facebook page every month. And you can submit photos of your work. And they draw, from the submissions, they draw people's names. I think they draw. I'm not sure if they draw it or they choose one person, or I don't know exactly how it works, but there's a drawing for a gift certificate to $50 on their sister site to get extra beads. And I don't know about you, but $50, I mean, that's a lot of beads for me. So I think this will be a contest submission. I like this idea. I like this flowy waterfall style drops, and I am going to grab a mannequin real quick now that part is done, because I want to see how it's going to lay on the mannequin and kind of show you guys what I'm thinking is going to look like when it's done. So it's going to kind of look something like that when it's done. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I love that. I think it's amazing. All right. Now that I'm totally in awe of this necklace, what else should we do now? Because I've gotten my crystals. This is my focal. Now I need to finish off my necklace, and I don't want to do it just chain or something. I want to do some additional beads, and I think I want to do some in blues. So I think I want to maybe grab... No, I don't know. What do we want to do? Let's do first of all, let's do a spacer. So we get some silver in there. And then we'll do a white, a blue, a darker blue. Actually, I want to do some... Ooh. Bead cap. There we go. And then a white. And a spacer. And a crystal. Oh yes, I do like that. I really do like that. All right, we're going to do that on the other side. And just FYI, be very careful of your bicones in this kit and your little tiny blue beads, these ones, because I've had a couple of those break. They're just not super... they're not super long, or they don't have a really big, super big hole. It's really tiny, and I've had issues. I tried to do a wire wrapping on one, and with that as on a head pin, and I got it stuck, and it broke. So, you're gonna have to watch the size of your wires if you're doing earrings. And I'm going to pick a nice light blue stone here so that it complements this side. Oh, I love this. All right, so I think I have my pattern. I think that's going to work. I am going to finish this up, at least the beading, and then we will get back together to finish up the ends and take a look at the finished product. So I'm going to pause you and I will be back. All right, guys, so I'm back. I finished stringing up the necklace, and I am going to literally just put the toggle clasp on. I'm going to avoid jump rings. I'm going to avoid everything just by putting on the toggle clasp. So when I'm doing this, and I'm not going to use a wire guardian or anything like that. Maybe, do I want to use a wire? I think I might want to use a wire guardian. Just because, and I just lost my crimp bead. Oh, nope, there it is. I'm a big fan of wire guardians just because I think they really save your jewelry, especially if you wear it all the time. I have pieces that I wear literally every day, so... But again, I want to make sure that in putting on the clasp here, that it's gonna be able to move a little bit. I don't want it to be, you know, so when it's in there, I don't want it to be so stiff that it's not going to go anywhere. I want it to be able to move just a little bit, because again, this is going to need to be flexible so it can bend in order to get... in order to get the toggle through the eye of the other side. So I am going to just give this a little tap just to squeeze that together, get this bead up as far as I can, and then I'm going to crimp that. So my clasp is pretty good. Now I added 3 of these beads at the end just to give it a little more length between the clasp, the toggle, and the first bigger size beads here. Because what I didn't want is when you're trying to, for example, put this through, having to hit those big beads right away. So I think that will give me just enough space that I think it'll make it a little bit easier to get your clasp on and off. All right, I'm going to cut this. I don't need that much in length. Wow, I heard that hit the ceiling. And I am going to get this down on this side. So now that's all nice and tight. Oops, sorry about the camera, guys. And we are going to finish this side. So I'm going to take my crimp bead, my other wire guardian I have out here. I'm going to go through that side, go through that side, and slip my toggle clasp right on in there. So now if you've got the ability to do this, this allows you, if you're doing this kind of clasp, this allows you to avoid a jump ring failure point. So yeah, so I you know, sometimes that works great to do it this way. Other times, you know, you're not going to get, you know, a clasp like this that's going to be really good for it. Like the, I mean, you can do it with any clasp, really. I just prefer to, sometimes I just prefer to do it with jump rings because then I can always fix a clasp if it breaks, especially lobster claws. I don't know how many times I've had lobster claws actually fail on me. All right, and there we go. So that's perfect. So this is a sparkling snowfall design. I actually love that. I think this is just the most amazing design. And again, it's, you know, not great on the table, but, you know, and those chains will loosen up a little bit as you wear it. And these they'll dangle just perfectly. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the mannequin, hanging on the mannequin. And then I think I'm going to go eat some Christmas cookies that I baked earlier. And, my chains don't want to come down. Ooh. There we go. There we go. So this is what it's going to look like on the mannequin. It's going to would be what it looks like on a person. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit for you. So, yep. So anyways, I think that looks great with those teardrops. I think that reminds me of icicles, just icicles. I really like that, and I think this might be mine. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to continue working off camera, and then I will show you what I've got when I'm done. So thanks for watching.